Syria's civil war is the worst humanitarian crisis of our time. Since the protests erupted in March 2011 in the southern city of Deraa, after the arrest and torture of some teenagers who painted revolutionary slogans on a school wall, after security forces opened fire on the demonstrators, killing several, more took to the streets. The unrest triggered nationwide protests demanding President Assad's resignation. More than 5 years after it began, the full-blown civil war has killed over 320,000 people. About 1.5 million people have been wounded or permanently disabled, most of which were civilians. Bombings are destroying crowded cities and horrific human rights violations are widespread. The UN estimates that 6.6 million people are internally displaced. When you also consider refugees, well over half the country's pre-war population of 23 million is in need of urgent humanitarian assistance. Whether they still remain in the country or have escaped across the borders, nearly 18 million people still live in a war-torn country. Collapsed infrastructure within Syria, healthcare, education systems and other infrastructures have been completely destroyed. Every year of the conflict has seen exponential growth in refugees that have fled Syria. In April 2011, the Syrian refugee crisis begins with around 5,000 refugees fleeing to Lebanon. In 2012, there were nearly 100,000 refugees that fled to neighbouring countries. In 2013, there were 800,000 that doubled to 1.6 million in less than 4 months. In 2014, there were around 4 million refugees. In 2015, the numbers exceeded 4.5 million. At present, in 2016, there are over 5 million refugees that have fled Syria so far. Most Syrian refugees remain in the neighbouring Muslim countries in the Middle East. More than 4.5 million refugees from Syria are just in 5 countries: Turkey, Lebanon, Jordan, Iraq and Egypt. Turkey hosts 2.5 million refugees from Syria, more than any other country worldwide. Lebanon hosts approximately 1.1 million refugees from Syria, which amounts to around 1 in 5 people in the country. Jordan has approximately 635,324 refugees from Syria, which amounts to about 10% of the population. Iraq, where 3.9 million people are already internally displaced, hosts 245,022 refugees from Syria. Egypt hosts 117,615 refugees from Syria. Only around 10% of the refugees have travelled to Europe. The majority of them have gone to Germany, Sweden and Hungary and other countries within Europe. According to the UN, more than half of all Syrian refugees are under the age of 18. Everyone in Syria will have known people who have died, but the exact number of those who have gone may never be known. Syrians fleeing conflict need all the basics to sustain their lives: food, clothing, health assistance, shelter, household and hygiene items. But the one thing the majority of the Syrians have requested is bread. Why bread? In parts of Syria, food has been incredibly scarce. We have met Syrian families who have resorted to eating rodents to survive. Task Force GLM visited Syria to assess their needs and discovered what they required most. They unanimously requested bread, which is why we are requesting for your help. Please help by donating now. This year, Digital Mimber is proud to be the official media partners for the Task Force GLM Bread Project 2016. Please make a donation online now or ring the donations hotline. We have a 100% donation policy. Every penny you donate will be spent on flour. 0% on administration, 0% on marketing, 0% on staff and 100% on flour.